Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your reading for March 12 through 25, 2024. I'm doing these now as bi-weekly readings. I'm doing 6 signs one week and 6 signs the next. So this is a bit of a change from the way I was doing it before, but this is definitely more manageable for me. If you are new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you here. And if you are returning to this channel, welcome back. This is a reading for you if you are a Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Taurus rising, or have some other significant Taurus placement in your chart. If you are a Taurus sun, for instance, and find that this doesn't really resonate, you may want to look at one of those other aspects, the reading that I do for that, and that you may find that that applies to you more. That does happen with people because the sun sign is only one small aspect of your chart. So it may apply and it may not. This is a general reading, so I'm going to be giving the most general, broad overview that I can, interpreting every element of each house. I am using the 12 houses of astrology to do these readings, so whatever the attributes of that house are, I'm going to actually be interpreting the cards with respect to that aspect. Now this week, usually this is ostensibly a tarot reading, but this week I am going to be using, of course, I always use Murray Hope's Way of Cartouche deck. It's just an Egyptian deck, and this week my clarifier is not going to be a tarot deck, but rather the Black Moon astrology cards. I feel like with Mercury retrograde coming up, with 2 eclipses coming up, this is going to be a very strong time. In fact, I think the last day, March 25th, which is the last day for this, within the range of this reading, is actually a lunar eclipse. So yeah, it's going to be, and then Mercury retrograde begins on April the 1st. So we are about to move into a somewhat turbulent period astrologically. So I felt clarifying with the astrology cards would be good. And then after, we will do a quick card pull from the Essential Oil Oracle. If you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you choose. Hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell if you want to be notified about when these readings come out. And if you're interested in my services in terms of readings, Reiki, spiritual coaching, or if you want to follow my social media, the links for all that are down in the description box below. Okay, so let's begin at the beginning, Taurus. First house is Aries energy. This is you, your personality, how you present yourself to the world. Okay, you've got Pyramid with the North Node. So, wow, you are undergoing some big changes. Pyramid is any kind. Usually, this card comes up in the first house as a test of our faith in ourselves. Okay. So you may have been feeling challenged recently. Maybe things that you have always taken for granted have been thrown into doubt in some way, or maybe your approach to something. Maybe now you're thinking differently about how you might want to do things. Maybe people are challenging you on your approach to things. That could be as well. Now this is happening because, again, we have this North Nodal energy. The North Node has to do with the direction we're headed in. The South Node has to do with what's the past, what's familiar, what we already know, past life stuff, things like that are connected to the South Node, which is the other end of this. The nodal points, if you're not familiar with what they have to do with a positioning of the moon. And typically what's understood, at least in Western astrology, is that the North Node is pointing to what we're supposed to do in this lifetime and moving forward. The South Node points to where we've already been and what we need to wrap up and move on from. So right now, whatever changes are happening for you, however you feel you may be changing as a person, seems to be definitely connected to this North Nodal energy. In other words, it's saying whatever's happening, you are now moving towards the life that you are, a new life for yourself, really, or where you're really meant to be going in this life. And this may have presented a bit of a challenge for you. As we go through, we should be able to see more about what these challenges are. Okay, so second house is your own energy, Taurus, and this largely has to do with finances. We have Nephthys with Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn is very strong Saturnian energy. This is plodding along, working at something, slow and steady, persistent. This is the good old-fashioned way of working at something, chipping away, putting an effort in every single day to yield the result, or to financially, this could be about building a nest egg or investing or saving money of some kind. It can also just indicate, a lot of work being putting into your finances and stability. Now you have it with Nephthys though. So Nephthys suggests to me something that maybe you are waiting for. Maybe you are waiting for something financially, and it's saying it has not appeared yet. Okay. This is Pisces energy, so it tends to be a little more cloudy and confusing. But Nephthys energy indicates something that is coming to you, but it's just not there yet. So I think the advice here is whatever it is you're working towards, like keep plodding along. What you're waiting for is coming. If you're not seeing the results yet and you're frustrated about that, that's saying, well, it's because they're just not here yet, but they will be. Third house, this is Gemini energy. This has to do with communication. It has to do with self-employment. It can have to do with travel, but more short distance travel. It has a lot to do with thought and mental energy, but more of the superficial kind, more of the day-to-day kind rather than deep thought. And also potentially with sibling relationships, brothers and sisters. Okay, so we have water here with the 8th house card. Now, the 8th house card is Scorpio energy, and so there seems to be communications about something. Yeah, 8th house stuff is pretty deep, okay? So there seems to be about an ending. This could be, so this is something of a little bit more substantial in nature. Now, 8th house is connected with births, it's connected with deaths. It's also connected with other people's money, okay? So I don't know, any one of those things could be what the messages here are about. Maybe this is going to affect your business. Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe there's something about legacies or inheritances coming up for you. Again, that's not going to be for everybody, but that is a possible interpretation of this card in this house. So yeah, there's definitely... this has to do, it says, you see the words at the bottoms, endings and beginnings. And that is definitely what the 8th house is connected to. So yeah, there's going to be some kind of news about some kind of a thing. But this is, remember, this is not something minor. I mean, 8th house stuff is deeply transformational. Scorpio energy is deep. It's not going to be news of some minor blip or some minor thing. This seems to be very deep. And yeah, and we also have it with water, which also adds to the scorpionic energy here. Could be something that's very emotional. Whatever it is going to definitely bring about change and movement. Now, that's going to be different for everybody, what it actually means, but it is saying, be aware that messages are going to be coming in about some profound changes very soon. 4th house, this is Cancer energy. This has to do with your home, your sense of security, your family. And home in the sense of the physical space that you live, and also your sense of feeling at home. It can have to do with the mother as well. We have Anubis with solar eclipse. Okay, now remember I said this was eclipse season. So for some of you, it seems like the eclipse energy is going to be affecting your physical home, like maybe you're going to be contemplating moving, especially with Anubis, which is a card of navigation and movement. But it can also have to do with family matters, okay? And Anubis is a card of protection, or it's also a card of diplomacy and negotiation. So there may be some changes here where you have to go with the flow, you have to negotiate, try not to... Anubis is about trying to have a sense of humor and stay light. So there could be... I feel like some of these changes that are coming up, for some of you, may connect to family. But whatever this is a profound change. If it doesn't have to do with your family, then for some of you, this is going to be an actual physical move, okay? We're going to look at the houses connected to travel, more long-term, more long-distance travel to see how that squares in this particular reading. But there's definitely a sense that the kind of, what you've known is what your security and what you're doing is about to change profoundly. Now, this is not necessarily negative change, but changes can always be disruptive in some way, especially if we're talking about major change. So take that as it resonates, but do be prepared that there may be some major shifts that are going to be going on, either in connection with an ancestral or family situation or something in the home. Okay, 5th house, this is Leo energy. Leo is about creativity. It can be about children. It can also be about love affairs. So if you're single and looking for love, it would be, or dating somebody, it would be part of that. It can also have to do with recreation and leisure. Okay, so we have air with Sagittarius. There's a lot of freedom energy connected with this card. Sagittarius is definitely a card of independence. And with air, I feel like you may be in a situation right now. If this is about love, then there seems to be, this could either be connected to somebody who is very friendly, but not necessarily very attached. Maybe you're just in communication with somebody. Maybe this person still needs to be free. I also feel like it's saying that if you're going to get into a relationship, it can't be somebody who's going to kind of box you in and cling on to you too much. You want to have somebody who's more independent. I mean, it could literally be a Sagittarius person or a person who's an air sign, but there's definitely a strong vibe of independence here. Now, if it doesn't have to do with love affairs, this could just have to do with, it could have to do with a child. Maybe you have a child that's behaving in a very independent manner or is getting ready to make some changes of their own. So that is possible here. If you're talking about a creative project, okay, then air to me would be suggestive of writing, okay? And Sagittarius, being as connected with the 9th house, has a lot to do with higher education. So I don't know, maybe somebody's writing an academic book. Maybe there's something coming up with regard to that. Maybe there is there seems to be something. Sagittarius, of course, again, it's Jupiter energy. It's about expanding boundaries, increasing one's visibility. But again, there's also a strong vibe of freedom here. So I don't know, for some of you, that could be the kind of work that you're doing. Maybe you're getting ready to publish something. And again, if you're saying, well, gee, I'm not a writer and I don't do any writing, then there definitely seems to be this idea that maybe you're going to be taking classes on something. Maybe you're going to be educating yourself on something. I don't know. But there's definitely this idea of definitely a strong energy of expansion and movement. Can also be messages coming in about things as well with the air card. And things connected to that house, I should be clear. Creativity, children, love affairs, that kind of stuff. And again, giving you the broadest strokes here, and you take it as it resonates. 6th house, this is Virgo energy. This has to do with health, healing. It can have to do with worry and anxiety, and also potentially with what they call the house of service. So it can have to do with job, if you work for somebody or if you volunteer for someone, sometimes with pets as well. We do have Sphinx here, so for some people this could be, usually Sphinx is cat energy. So I don't know, maybe some people are getting a new cat, but that's a very, very specific interpretation there. And Sphinx is a wait and see kind of a card. This is a card of secrecy. So you may be worried about things that you feel people are keeping secret from you. Maybe you are in a situation where you are just trying to, again, there's this strong energy of waiting for more information on something. Now, if this has to do with a health matter, this could have to do with, it could be that maybe somebody's waiting for some kind of results or something. Whatever the situation is that this refers to, it's saying don't take action until you have all the information. And we've got air again. We've got this strong element of communication. You've got air here, and now you've got air here. So for some people, this could be the potential movement or change in a job. Maybe it's a communication about a job or in connection with one, or maybe it's even a health communication. Air could literally, in a health situation, might have to do with people maybe who are dealing with asthma or allergies or something that has to do with breathing or the breath. That might apply for some people. Again, though, whatever the situation is, whatever's being communicated right now or whatever's happening, I feel like there's a sense that you don't necessarily want to take action on whatever this is right now. Take the information in, take it into account, but you may not have all of the pieces of the puzzle yet with regard to whatever this is. So, this is kind of advocating a wait and see thing, although this also indicates communication and keeping communication open about something. So there definitely seems to be movement or action here, at least in terms of thinking about something or in terms of communicating about something. Okay, 7th house, this is Libra energy. This has to do with relationships, long-term relationships, so marriages, can have to do with business partnerships, contracts, things like that. Okay, so we have Ta with Gemini, and it's interesting because now we've got 3 air cards in a row. There's definitely a strong sense here, like, okay, as far as a love relationship goes, now this could be, again, if you are interested in somebody, if you are thinking about a long-term relationship, these may be people. You can decide whether they have to do with you or not. For some people, this could literally be a Gemini. This would be a Capricorn, because Ta Ta has strong masculine energy, so for some people this could be referring to a man. But I would say as a general relationship omen, like for example, if someone's looking to get married, I feel like somebody may be very focused on their work and maybe more interested in friendship right now than in actually tying the knot or getting married or something like that. If you are already married, then this could just be somebody, you could have a spouse who's either very has a lot of manual dexterity, like they like to build things, maybe crafty, so to speak, maybe literally likes to build stuff. Or you could have this Gemini energy, somebody who is a deep thinker, but this is more like head rather than heart, okay? So there's a whole lot here around what's practical and what's intellectual. So that may be going on right now. If you are in a marriage, that may be the tenor of things right now. Maybe there's things that you're practical, things that you're working through. And again, there's this strong vibe of communication here. So this could be connected to work, creative projects, could be connected to children. But there definitely seems to be a lot of work going on here. And of course, if this is a business partnership, all that same elements would apply. But I think if you want to look at this as a love house, right now this is saying somebody who's working very hard at something. It's that same Capricorn energy we see over here. So right now this may be something that's at the level of friendship and not moving beyond that right now. Okay. 8th house, Scorpio energy. I've mentioned that the Scorpio card showing up down here, or the 8th house card. And the 8th house has to do with, again, big transformations, other people's money. Okay, you've got Urias and the 5th house, so that's really interesting. Urias indicates that which we are not prepared for. This usually comes in when we get a surprise. Now, the fact that we have this 8th house energy down here in the 3rd house, that suggests to me that, yeah, there's going to be communications coming in. You do have the solar eclipse energy in terms of the home. So I don't know. I feel like there's being that we see this profound energy down here in the house of messages, and this tends to be more of a superficial thing. You have this, Urias seems to indicate that there is, I don't know, there's surprises in store. There's things you don't know about yet. And whatever this brings, it's something that's definitely not on your radar right now, but I don't see it as anything negative, especially with the 5th house. So this could go back to our creative projects down here, but this could be, creativity. This particular card, okay, this is Leo energy in the Scorpio house. So this has to do with visibility, being seen. Maybe time is going to come where you're going to be recognized for some kind of creative work that you do. That could be. There's also the element of partnership here too, because remember, this is the house of love affairs. So I don't know. There could be something it could be that if you are thinking about somebody, maybe somebody right now who is keeping their distance from you, maybe this is saying there is something, there may be somebody who is part of a major transformation. Maybe they're going to be assisting you with a creative project. Maybe you're going to be assisting them, or maybe it's just going to be a very visible love affair that's going to be very transformational in some way. But the fact that this is coming up like this with Urias, I feel like, for some of you, I feel like there may be a relationship situation that maybe there's somebody you're interested in, maybe it's just been friends, and you're saying, okay, well, I don't know if this is going to be more than friends, this person's busy, they're working, they're focused on their own projects, they're independent, but it seems to say to me that however that's going to work out, what this could mean here is that Urias may be saying, it's something unexpected is going to come in and shift the way that this works. And maybe, again, this could be coming together with somebody. Maybe this, finally moving from a friendship to something more serious at some point. But again, whenever that's going to happen, it's going to come out of the blue. It's going to be like, whoa, I didn't expect that. Or it could also just indicate that you are going to be coming into a time period where you are suddenly going to be very visible for whatever you are known for, whatever your creative legacy might be. Interesting. For some people, that could have to do with a child as well. Although it's not a strong child vibe, 5th house does have to do with children as well. So, okay, 9th house, Sagittarius energy. This is to do with Jupiter. So this is long distance travel. This has to do with education, higher education, deep thought, religion, philosophy, deeper questions of life. anything that's kind of expanding your horizons beyond what's right in front of you. Okay, so we have Lotus with Cancer. So Lotus, okay, there's to me, this indicates there may be a strong anxiety about something here. So whether it's about, you have this North Node energy here, so there may be this sense that you are being challenged to break out of your boundaries, to do something different. And I feel like there may be a lot of strong feels about this. With Cancer energy, we could want to withdraw from a situation and, get back to our little cocoon. It can also just indicate that we may have very, very strong intuition or very strong feelings about something. Now, Lotus is a card that usually comes up when we need to calm the mind or relax or alleviate some kind of mental anxiety. Could be a long trip that actually does that for you. But yeah, there definitely seems to be this strong connection to feelings here. So whether this has to do with higher ed, with a long trip, or just something maybe new that you're taking a deep dive into that really means something to you. But Cancer is definitely about, again, we have all these cards of the head here, you know what I mean? But it's interesting because in Sagittarius you have it with air, but in the Sagittarius house you have Cancer, which is a water card. So this is more about the heart. So yeah, there seems to be this head-heart balance that's going on. And this may be part of how your horizons are expanding. Maybe you are moving more into the heart space when you have been somebody who is usually very much in a cerebral or mental kind of space. Okay, 10th house, Capricorn energy. Capricorn is your fame, career, reputation. Now you have Hathor here, so for some of you, this could literally be work in areas that have to do, I was connected with the planet Venus, so anything to do with beauty. So someone who's a hairdresser or an esthetician or somebody who does makeup artist, somebody who does fashion. It could also be having to do with more domestic things, like somebody who does cooking or baking. It can have to, or it can have to do with massage therapy or Reiki therapy or something like that. I connect a lot of this kind of work with Hathor, but that doesn't have to be the meaning in this house. This can also just indicate a woman also who may be significant, because again, strong feminine energy here, strong Empress energy, so the feeling of almost, if I compare it to tarot, of planting seeds, of getting things organized. Certainly a 10th house Hathor is a woman who is organized, efficient, and has her business together. So this could be you, because there is strong Taurus energy associated with Hathor, or this could be a woman who is coming in to help you in some way. Now you have it with Saturn return, and this card would indicate, you've got Capricorn in the 2nd house here, you've got the air element here. I feel like this is a card of correction, okay? So when Saturn return comes up, it's the age card, so age could be a factor here. Maybe this is something, maybe you're at a certain phase in your life, in your career, where your legacy is going to be a particular thing or something maybe you're more focused on. But being it's the Saturn return card, I feel like you are having a chance to make corrections in things with your career right now. And perhaps there's going to be somebody who's a female who helps you with that, or this could just be your own energy that you're applying. 11th house, this is Aquarius energy, has to do with friendships. It can have to do with business networks, partnerships, social media, like in that kind of regard. More of your network rather than a specific partner per se, although it could be about a specific friendship. It can also have to do with your goals and your destiny. And you've got the 11th house card in the 11th house, okay? And you've got it with Sirius. So I feel like you're going to be expanding your friend group. Yeah, this is also Aquarius energy, so you got double Aquarius here. So that's triple Aquarius, really. So you may be expanding your friend group right now. You may be broadening your horizons. Maybe your friends are going to help you think outside the box a little bit. Your friendships right now do seem to be very important. So definitely make sure you are connecting with your friends. I feel like this is going to be the way in which you're able to push those boundaries and expand your horizons. Some of this, I feel like for some of you, there's definitely an energy here of not wanting to go it alone. That you want to reach out to your networks and your friends and those who might be able to help you move ahead with certain things. Or that just something, it may just be that changes may be coming out of that area. 12th house, Pisces energy. This is about Pisces has to do with what's hidden, okay? So it can also have to do with, you know, the way in which you withdraw or work independently. It can have to do with escapism. Generally, I feel in readings that this has a lot to do with what we're afraid of, or what we're worried is going to happen, or what we worry about and we don't tell people. Okay, so you have Scarab with the Earth element. Okay. So yeah, Earth element, stability. Worries about stability. Worries about the Earth shaking under your feet. Okay. Or it could be worries too, alternately, that something is taking too long. Because this is a card of slow and steady progress on something, of building something. And, you know, and yet, again, you have this Capricorn energy down here. But with Nepenthes, you're seeing things that have not happened yet. So I feel like for some of you, this is saying you may be worried that things are not growing or happening fast enough. Okay. But there may be some corrections here with Saturn return up there in the 10th house. And you have it with Scarab. So Scarab definitely indicates a new beginning. Spiritually, this can indicate a new beginning. Yeah, with this strong Scorpio energy that you have here, Urias here, and then this, Scarab, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, you know, and the North Node in the first house, I feel like you are undergoing some really profound changes right now, Taurus. But right now you may be trying to analyze, trying to work through them. There may be a need for you to be independent right now because you're trying to figure certain things out. You're trying to make certain corrections, get a sense of how you feel about something. There may be some of these cataclysmic messages coming in, something changing in the home situation. So yeah, all of these changes may also be kind of throwing you off a little bit. So because on the one hand, it seems like certain things are changing very fast. On the other hand, it seems that there are things that are not moving fast enough. So overall, you have the twins. Okay, so again, yeah, don't go it alone. You know, reach out for help, reach out for your networks. I do feel like this is going to be, I feel like your orientation is going to be more towards working with others, not doing everything on your own. Okay. I feel like that's a strong element of what's going on here, and there's going to be some surprises that are going to come in that are going to change things. So be prepared for some unexpected changes. However, you do have it with Grand Trine, and Grand Trine is a wonderful card. This is a card of blessings. This is a card of doors opening up. It suggests that things are on the increase, that you are, and that certain things will flow naturally for you, so you don't have to necessarily push that hard. However, that doesn't mean that you don't need to put work in, okay? Although we're seeing over here that you are putting the work in, you are putting a lot of mental energy into something over here. But yeah, there's some big changes coming. So yeah, there's going to be an opportunity to make changes or corrections. And I don't know, you may be moving. Some of you might be moving. Maybe there's strong feelings, for somebody who's far away. But I'm definitely seeing here that you are, I feel like you're freeing yourself, Taurus. I feel like you're freeing yourself from something that maybe has held you into place, and that you are now having this opportunity to kind of almost go back and correct something maybe that wasn't done correctly in terms of your life path or in terms of where you were headed. And now I feel like maybe with all these big changes that are happening, like something is about to set you free. I'm going to pull an essential oil oracle card for you. So what does Taurus need to know from March 12th through 25, 2024? Okay, it's Melissa oil. And here's the card, and I will read to you what it says. It is a card of purpose. It says, the trigger statement is, what is the point of it all? The true statement is, I am special. It says, you have a unique place in this world with gifts and talents that only you can provide. Use your connection with use your connection with the divine to share them. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, with this North Node energy, you're being called to do something very specific. So it's time to make the corrections that you need and be prepared for unexpected things to come in. And lots of communication right now too. Lots of communication and lots of expansive energy here. So yeah, I would say overall that this is a very good reading, that in spite of the fact that certain things maybe aren't as moving as fast as you want, that things are headed in a really good direction. I hope this reading was helpful, Taurus. Do give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment if you choose. And if you want to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss a video. that would be helpful to you. That would be helpful to me. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you the next time.